Welcome to our lesson for today, and we're talking about the essential minor chords for the ukulele. And we're going to go over 7 chords: A minor, B minor, C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, and G minor. And I'm going to show you how those 7 shapes, or those 7 chords, it's actually not 7 shapes because some of the shapes are duplicate shapes, will allow you to then play any minor chord that you have over the ukulele neck that you may see in different songs that you play or like. Alright, so we are live, so feel free to say hi, leave a comment, ask a question, share it. You know, all of that is very appreciative and thankful. Hey, Chris, welcome. Now, we do have the cool feature today of the old chords right on the screen for you to make it real easy when we're playing these. So, let's just grab some tuning notes. I do have my tenor ukulele here. So, first string A. Second string E, third string C, and fourth string G. And I do have a low G on my ukulele. Hold on one second. Where was I? So I do have a low G on my ukulele, but it doesn't matter if you have a low G or high G. This lesson is just about the chord shapes, and they're going to sound the same no matter what you play. Okay, so the minor chords here, we're going to go in alphabetical order: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just to make it simple. So our first chord here is our A minor. This is one of our easier chords on the ukulele. All I have to do is play my second finger here on the 4th string, 2nd fret, open 3rd, open 2nd, and open 1st. So there's our A minor chord. Now this chord is going to be useful as we move up and down the neck. What I want you to recognize with this chord is that this is called our open position chord because we're playing open strings. And also the sound of these chords, these minor chords, they give a darker, sadder sound than, for example, the major chords. So if I just play A major versus the A minor. All right, hey, Harry, see Harry's checked in, so welcome. Okay, so just remember that shape here just for a second. Because what you want to recognize is that the root of this chord, meaning what names the chord, is going to be right here on the 4th string, 2nd fret, which the only fret you're actually fingering. So that note right there is an A note. The other note, which is our root, is the open 1st string, is also A. So you actually have 2 roots in this chord. So you have the A on the 4th string and you have the open A. Because remember, these chords we're dealing with, these minor chords, are dealing with their triad, so 3 notes only. And yes, we do have 4 strings on the ukulele, but we only have 3 notes. So we have A here on the 4th string, 2nd fret, then open C, open E note, and then A again. So notice the only notes for the A minor chord are A, C, and E. I don't want to get into too much of the theory behind the chords for this particular lesson. I just want to teach you the shapes. But we will talk about that stuff because it's important to know. The other thing that is really helpful is I sent out a cheat sheet on the essential, the cheat sheet on the notes on the ukulele neck. And what I did was I gave you every single note all the way up to the 12th fret on all 4 strings and all 12 frets. That's going to be helpful to have because as we start moving these chords up and down the ukulele neck, you can have that chart to help you figure out what notes are where. So, A minor. So let's jump to the next chord now. The next chord here is our B minor. Now, if you look at this B minor chord, this is a closed position chord, meaning we have no open strings. And what I'm doing for this chord is I'm playing my third finger here on the 4th string, 4th fret, and then my first finger is barring strings 1, 2, and 3 at the 2nd fret. If you want to bar all 4 of them, that's fine. Sometimes I do, sometimes I just bar the bottom 3. Depends on what chord I'm coming from. And you play all strings, and that's your B minor chord. Remember, with the bar here, you got to give it a good amount of pressure. You also want to be right up next to the fret without being on top of it. So you don't want to be on top of the fret, just right up next to it. And you want to have your finger parallel here with the fret. So you don't want to have it twisted off to one side. You want to have it parallel with the fret and right up next to it and get that nice clear sound of each note. Now, the B minor chord is just like the A minor chord, if you might have noticed, except for then instead of using open strings, where it moved up to the 2nd fret. So let me explain that. If we go back to our A minor chord, notice we were on the 2nd fret and open 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. Now for the B chord, I'm doing the same thing, except for I got to account for the open strings. So now what I'm doing is I'm barring the 2nd fret. And now my 4th string note moves from the 2nd fret to the 4th, and my open strings move from open to the 2nd fret. So B minor. So this is essentially the same shape as A minor, except we're up 2 frets, and we're playing a bar chord, which is a little bit more difficult than the open position. So that means that our roots for this chord are on the 4th string, 4th fret. There's a B note. And then you also have a B note here on the 1st string, 2nd fret. So those are your B notes. So A minor. And then the same shape moved up 2 frets, B minor. So even though they're 2 different chords, they're actually the same shape. So what would happen then if I took this shape of B minor and I just slid it down 1 fret? So now instead of being on the 2nd fret, my first finger here is on the 1st fret, and my 3rd finger is on the 4th string, 3rd fret. Shape's the same. It's just down from the B minors here, and it's down 1. So what would be the name of this particular chord? So in order to do this, and I know some of you can just nail it right away, but in order to do this, what you have to do is you have to remember where your root is. And I told you your root is here on the 4th string. And so now it's on the 3rd fret. So what note is it here on the 4th string, 3rd fret? Now again, if you don't know this, that cheat sheet on the notes on the ukulele neck would be a great resource to have next to you or on your screen to be able to look up. And what note is this? This is either an A sharp note, because I have A here on the 2nd fret, so if I move it up 1 fret, it's A sharp. Or, since B is here on the 4th fret, I move it back 1, and that's B flat. So this note right here, on the 4th string, 3rd fret, can either be called A sharp or B flat. So when I play the chord shape, and I'm not playing B minor what's on the screen, but I'm playing the same shape. So B minor is here on the 2nd fret, so this chord's here. We can call this either B flat minor, because remember this note is B flat, so B flat minor, or we could also call this chord A sharp minor. So either one is totally fine, just depending on what the key of the song is that you're playing. So now, if you see a song and it says B flat minor, you know the shape now. All right, let's go back to B now. So we're back to the 2nd fret now, B minor. What happens now if I go the other way and I move this up 1 fret? So now my 1st finger is on the 3rd fret and my 3rd finger is on the 4th string, 5th fret. What chord is that? Well, again, and I know some of you already know this, but you have to know whatever note this is here on the 4th string, 5th fret, whatever note that is, or if you want to rather use your 1st string here at the 3rd fret. Remember, those are the same notes. So, what chord is that? Well, that note right there, or that note, is a C note. So, if I play this shape, I'm playing C minor. Notice it's the same as the B, except instead of being on the 2nd fret, it's on the 3rd fret. But essentially, this is exactly the same as the good old open position A minor. It's just that now we're barring it. So now we have 3 chords, A minor, B minor, and C minor, which are essentially the same shape. All right? So you might be asking, well, what about this C chord right here? When I play this, open 4th, open 3rd, open 2nd, and then my 3rd finger's on the 1st string, 3rd fret. That's C, right? So why can't I do a C minor chord based off this shape right here? Well, here's the reason. Without getting into too much theory, here's the reason. The C chord, or C major, the 3 notes are C, E, and G. So just, if you don't know that, just trust me on that. I'm 99.9999% sure that I'm right on that. But C, E, and G. Well, where's the E note? The E note here is on the 2nd string. Well, notice that's an open string. In order to play C minor, if I go back to the C minor chord, I have to play C, E flat, and G. Those are the 3 notes. Okay? So if I go back to our C major chord here, I can't play E flat with an open string because I have nowhere else to go, right? I'd have to lower this. So this shape, which would be cool if there was an easy C minor shape, just doesn't work. That's why we have to jump up here and do a bar chord here, this one, on the 3rd fret. All right, hopefully you're with me on this. We're going to move on now. We're going to move on to a whole new shape now. So we've had 3 chords, A minor, B minor, C minor, with the same exact shape. Now, here comes a new shape. And this is our D minor chord. I heard rumors, just to jump off the subject, that the Desert Trip concert out in Coachella, which I was just out for Stagecoach this year, may have Led Zeppelin there. I heard that rumor yesterday. I went to the last Desert Trip, the first one, that had Dylan and the Stones and Paul McCartney and Neil Young and Roger Waters and The Who. So I went to that one, which was awesome. But this year, Zeppelin might be there. So that might be cool. Anyway, let's get back. So, D minor now. What I'm doing here is my 2nd finger is on the 4th string, 2nd fret. My 3rd finger's on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And my 1st finger's on the 2nd string, 1st fret, and then open 1st string. D minor. So that's a pretty cool shape. It's not overly difficult to play. Now, we have to figure out where is the root. So where is the D note on this chord, this D minor chord? What string is it on? Well, it's not on the 4th string because that note is, as we know, A. Is it here on the 3rd string, 2nd fret? Well, yes it is. So that is a D note right there on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Let's see if we have any other ones. What's this one here on the 2nd string, 1st fret? That's F, so no. And then we have open 1st string, which is A. So no, in this case, we only have one root, which is right here on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So, this is our D minor chord. This again is called an open position chord because we're playing an open string. So this is a D minor open position chord. Now, can we move this chord up to different frets? And why, yes we can. And that's going to bring us to our next chord. So, check this out. I'm at my D minor. If I simply just take it up 2 frets, so I've just simply slid the shape up, and now on the 1st string, I have to move that up 2 frets, so instead of open, 1st string, 1st fret, 2nd fret, I now have our next chord, which is E minor. It's the same as the D minor as an open chord, but now we're playing a closed chord, meaning no open strings. My fingering will slightly change sometimes, so if I'm just playing D minor, I might play the E minor slightly different. The way I'm fingering this is my third finger's on the fourth string, 4th fret. My pinky's right underneath it on the 3rd string, 4th fret. My second finger's on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And then my first finger's on the 1st string, 2nd fret. So E minor. Again, the root of this chord is right here, whatever note is on the 3rd string. And so on the 3rd string, 4th fret, that is an E note. So that's why this chord is E minor. We're playing an E note and an E minor shape, or a minor shape. Now, what happens if I take this same chord and I just slide it back 1 fret? So now my first finger's on the 1st fret, second finger's on the 2nd fret, pinky's on the 3rd fret, and my third finger's on the 3rd fret. What chord is this called? So in order to figure that out, if you don't know it, you just have to know whatever this note here on the 3rd string, 3rd fret is. Now what note is it? Well, if E's on the 4th fret, we slide it back 1, that's E flat. And if D's on the 2nd fret, we slide it up 1, that's D sharp. So this chord right here can be called either, and it's not the E minor, so I'll take it off the screen, E flat minor or D sharp minor, whatever one. You'll see both depending on the song you're playing. Okay? So there's that. Let's go back to E minor. So we were just there at the E minor chord. Now our next chord, check it out, F minor, and all I have to do is take my E minor shape and just slide it up 1 more fret. Hey, I see Gary's checked in. Hey Gary, welcome. Just in time for the F minor chord. So this shape's exactly the same as the E minor, except slid up to the 3rd fret. So my first finger is now on the 1st string, 3rd fret. My second finger is on the 2nd string, 4th fret. My pinky is on the 3rd string, 5th fret, and my third finger's on the 4th string, 5th fret. My kids say hi, by the way. And the reason why this is F minor, again, I know I kind of say this over and over again, but I really want you to get it, is that on the 3rd string here on the 5th fret, that's an F note. So far these last 3 chords have been all the same shape. D minor, E minor, and F minor. Now we could continue moving this up. So if we moved it up 1 other fret to the 4th fret, so I'm talking about my first finger's on the 4th fret, we got F sharp minor or G flat minor. Move it up again. Now my first finger's on the 5th fret, we have G minor. And that's what I mean by once you get these shapes down, you can figure out any chord on the ukulele because, or any at least for today's lesson, minor shapes, because you just have to slide these chords up and down the neck. Now, before we get to the last chord, which is going to be our 3rd shape, so we're going to have 3 different shapes even though we're playing 7 chords. I want to go back to this F chord that we play here. This is our traditional F major chord. I actually think I have that here still. So there's our, remember our F chord, just a regular open F chord. Now, can we make this chord a minor chord? Well, F major has F, A, and C, 3 notes. F note, A note, and C note. So F minor, though, has F, A flat, and C. So here's the problem with this chord. This A right here on the 4th string, 3rd fret, or 2nd fret, I can move it back to the 1st fret, so 4th string, 1st fret, and I have a A flat there. And if you just play strings 4, 3, and 2, you actually do have an F minor chord. The problem is your 1st string here. If you just leave that open, that's A, right? And we need A flat, so it doesn't work. So if you want to play this A, F minor here, you just can't play the 1st string, because notice, not feeling that chord so much. Okay? And that shape's a little weird. Alright, so that's why we're doing our F minor like this. Here on the 3rd fret. Okay, last chord for today's lesson Well, we did A, B, C, D, E, and F minors. Now we're going to get to the last one alphabetically, which is G minor. And this is going to be your third and final shape for today. The way I'm fingering this is my first finger's on the first string, first fret. My second finger's on the third string, second fret. And my third finger's on the second string, third fret. So G minor, and then I'm hitting the open fourth string. Keep that in mind for a second, please. So here's our G minor, all four strings, including the open fourth string. Pretty cool sounding chord. Sometimes I'll play it 1, 2, and pinky, and I won't use my third finger, and other times I'll play it with my third finger. So it varies. Now, this is G minor, and this is your third and final shape. This shape now, if we want to make it a closed position, remember this open position because we have open fourth string, we can, except the shape gets a little bit harder to grab. So now, if I want to take this shape, G minor, and move it up to A minor, which is 2 frets away, I'm going to have to slide this chord shape up 2 frets. But now I got to account for this open string. Well, one, I could just not play it, but I don't want to do that. I do want to play it. And so I got to account for the open string, and I'll have to move it up 2 frets. So now my fingering here is going to be a little awkward, and this might be tough to grab for you, maybe not. Now I have to use all 4 fingers to grab this A minor chord. All right, I don't have a diagram for this particular shape, but I'm just going to show you what it is. And it's actually a cool chord. It's kind of hard to grab if you just got to like grab it out of the blue, but it is a cool chord to practice your dexterity, and you may use it from time to time. So my first finger's here on the 4th string, 2nd fret. My second finger's way down here on the 1st string, 3rd fret. My third finger's on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and then my pinky's here on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So here's your A minor chord. Remember, it's just like this G minor shape, except I slid it up 2 frets, and I have to actually now add my first finger. So there's your A minor chord. And there's my son also in the background. All right, so this shape's a little bit harder than the last 3, but you now have your root of this chord here is on the 4th string, whatever finger this on. So it's A minor because this is an A note, and I'm playing a minor shape. The reason I always G is because I had a G note here, and that was our G. You also have a root right here on the 2nd string. So whatever note that is on the 2nd string is also your root, right? Because that's an octave. So I could also move this shape up. So if I'm on A minor, if I slid it up 1 fret, so now my first finger's on the 3rd fret, well, whatever note that is. And we've talked about this earlier in the lesson. This note is either A sharp or B flat. So if you do this shape, it's A sharp or B flat minor. So notice, we actually have 2 of these chords, right? You could have, well, let's move it up 1 more fret. So here's your B minor chord. My first finger's on the 4th string, 4th fret. My second finger's on the 1st string, 5th fret. My pinky's on the 2nd string, 7th fret. And then my third finger here is on the 3rd string, 6th fret. Notice, B minor, because this note right here is B, but also B minor here. So this, we have 2 different shapes. So now if you saw B minor chord in your book or a song or something, you could play B minor like this. You could play B minor like that. So you have some options. All right, let's do this real quick. I want to play each chord using half notes. So I want to go A minor, B minor, this is all just alphabetical, C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, and G minor. Okay? It's not going to sound like a song. I just want to go through these 7 shapes. Here we go. Start on A minor. 2, 3, 4, and A minor, and B minor, and C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, and G minor. Now can we go backwards? Do the G minor again, the F minor, E minor, so forth. Here we go. Ready? G minor and G minor, F minor, E minor, G minor, C minor, B minor, and A minor. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a song, but anyway, it just goes through those 7 shapes. Oh, I see Mark just checked in. All right. See you later, Mark. Thanks for stopping by. Anyway, that's going to do it for our lesson today on the essential minor chords. We went over 7 chord shapes, or 7 chords, but we only actually did 3 different chord shapes. So I hope you got those down, and I hope that when you start seeing chords that you don't know in songs, especially these minor chords, you can use what I showed you and try to figure them out where they are on the ukulele neck. And the other option you could do is just to give yourself some additional voicings, right? So instead of just playing A minor like this, you could also play A minor like this. You could also play A minor like F, G, like this. Right? So it just gives you some options and some sounds. So that's going to do it for today's lesson. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all the support. And we'll catch you on the next lesson.